So it has been about 2 weeks now, I believe, since we had a massive update on the JP side where they have removed the position limit. So let's take a look at the top ranking players on the JP leaderboard right now and see whether that actually made much difference in terms of their team building. Now, I am only going to show you the JP side because on the Taiwan server, they haven't had that update yet. So it's a bit too early to tell the impact we'll be having on Taiwan. But one thing I do actually want to point out in terms of the difference between JP and Taiwan server is that previously, I think like a month ago, when I posted my video in terms of the top ranking teams in Taiwan, there wasn't many school bond focused team, and then someone I think posted on the JP side there were actually a few more like school oriented teams, and then people were talking about schools have been more popular in JP and the meta is different, etc. Now, whilst I definitely agree the meta is different, I also think there is just a big difference in terms of the pay-to-win players on JP and Taiwan, and that's kind of what what school-based teams are still going to work on JP when the team rating is slightly lower. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So this is the top ranking, top 5 players on the JP server. You can see that team power, so 248, 230, 230, 210, 220. Okay, this is your top 5 players. Let's jump over to the Taiwan side, okay? Top player 260, second player 250, 240, 210, 250, okay? You can already tell the top of the leaderboard on Taiwan is a lot higher team rating than what is like on the JP side. And considering Taiwan was released later than JP as well, you will already know for them to be that higher rating than the JP side, it just shows it's been more competitive. There's more whales, there's more pay to win players on the Taiwan server. So that's kind of why on the Taiwan server, because team rating does make a massive difference, you are going to see a lot more kind of like full UR or SP character teams. Whereas on the JP one, because the competition, I guess, is not as fierce. So as a result, you are still able to play lots of school-based teams, but there wouldn't be such a big difference against other pay-to-win players who may be opting in for full UR or SP characters. Okay, so that's pretty much the biggest difference in my opinion on what's driving the meta across the two different versions. But anyway, back to the main topic, which is just talking about what this update actually made in terms of the fact that we have no position limit now. So let's take a look at the first team. Let's just see what it. So this is definitely a Furodani based team. Okay, it still works, right? You can see the total team power 248 on the Taiwan server. This probably wouldn't be the top leaderboard anymore. But obviously it still works if all of your competitors are not going full well. So this is gonna be a Furodani based school team. They didn't choose the opposite hitter and they instead went for 3 mid blockers instead. Okay, but that's pretty much it. So you have the Beach Trio and then you have Furodani members, and then he also had SP Kuro and obviously Hoshiyumi. Then let's take a look at the second guy, see what is here. So this is a full UR team. There's no SP character at all. Is there a school bond? I don't think there's a school bond. This is a pure character bond. So you have the duo of Komori and Sakusa. You have the duo of Hoshiyumi and Hirogami. You still have the duo of Okawa and also Ushijima as well. I have a feeling this guy just like UR characters rather than SP character. You can see the bench is full UR as well. And also for this one, I don't think position limit made any difference to them, right? Yeah, 2 mid blockers, liberal, yeah, no difference at all for this team. Actually, no, there is one difference. Team rotation is different. Now it's going to be a setter followed by opposite header. Normally, setter would have been right opposite the opposite header. Okay, so they did change up the rotation, but they didn't. They still kept the same format of the positions, with the same limit of position. They just changed the rotation ones. Okay, let's take a look at third team. This is a mere twin. No, it's not. Yeah, this is not even mere twin. Yeah, you see SSR character here. I just feel like the JP server as a whole is just a lot. You're still gonna be able to get away with even playing SSR characters, purely because there's not like full of wells at the top of the leaderboard, to be honest. So this one they have 2 mid blockers, 2 wind spikers, 1 setter, no 3 mid blockers. Okay, so they're going for 3 mid blockers here, but there's no school bond. This is definitely a quick attack team, I guess. That's why they play Leaf. This Leaf is just weird here. I think this guy just really like Leaf. Leaf have like absolutely no synergy here. Other than maybe trying to fulfill receiving bond, receiving speciality. No, that's a block specialty. Okay, never mind. What's the first specialty? First specialty is a block specialty. Second one is a power one. Okay, let's take a look at the fourth guy. Fourth guy, this is a block specialty as well. Okay, so it feels like block is kind of the main meta now. How many mid blockers are there? There are four mid blockers. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You have Hoshiyumi as well, who can also block. And the setter position, he went for Kageyama. I'm assuming that's because of the bond with Nishinoya and also the bond with Hinata. Okay, so let's take a look at the fifth guy here. Block specialty again. I do feel like block is the meta, definitely. Um, Two opposite hitters, so he brought out Kunami, the new Kunami here. Then you have the two mid blocker, this duo of the firework or whatever sim. Then Sugawara as a setter, and then Windspiker. Yeah, and you may have noticed, like even for the first guy, when it's actually a block specialty, this setter is not actually a block specialty himself. So this was, I think, was the first time we are actually seeing Sugawara in with a block specialty. Okay. So let's take a look at the sixth guy. This is two opposite hitter again. So you still see Ushijima every now and then, I guess. You have the setter, you have two mid blockers, win spot. Once again, I feel like this isn't a massive change other than the fact that the rotation doesn't change. And he's opting in for another opposite hitter instead of win spiker. And that was what specialty was it? This was a power attack, okay? Number 7, this is another power attack. Two mid blockers, two wind spikers, opposite header setter. This is just standard, but once again, the rotation has no rotation hasn't even changed. This guy hasn't updated his team at all. This is just the same old format. You have the two mid blocker being 3 position away, two wind spikers 3 position away. Yeah, this one had no change. Okay, so number 8, we have. That's the SSR. Oh yes, SSR Hinata goes well with the UR Kageyama. So I can't understand why this SSR has been played here. Mid blocker, two mid blocker, three mid blocker here. In total, block speciality, wind spiker, Sugawara is the setter, okay. Number 9, Sugawara the setter again. 3 other mid blocker, block speciality, wind spiker, okay. I think we can definitely see a trend here. Okay, this is actually a quick attack. Okay, I think this is the first quick attack we've seen so far. And this one is because we have Kageyama, Kuro, Hinata, and also SP Suki. So that's the full quick attack team. And then he still had the opposite hitter here. Okay. You do see 3 mid blockers in a row though. So it does feel like the popularity of a third mid blocker has increased by quite a bit here. Also 2 setter here. I feel like this guy may be actually trying to go for something sneaky with like maybe changing speciality halfway in the match, because he does have like, I feel like he does have enough for him to like swing either way. He doesn't have Hoshiyumi in the on the court though, so maybe he wasn't gonna have the Hoshiyumi at the back in order for him to actually switch speciality. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just guessing here. So that's 11. We haven't seen any receiving team so far. That's interesting though. I am actually personally going for a receiving team myself, so it's quite interesting to see why there isn't any so far. Uh, Number 12, this is a power spike team. You have 2 mid blockers, 2 wind spikers. So this is the same position, or the same limit as before. One setter up, one opposite header, 2 mid blocker, 2 wind spiker. But once again, rotation has changed. Then number 13, another wind spiker. Futakuchi. There's a lot of SSR characters still being played in JP. Once again, pretty surprising. Um, what is this one? So we have 3 mid blocker, block speciality. You can kind of see the trend now. I'm just gonna quickly scroll down to see whether I can see a receiving. Oh, this one's a receiving one. Spoke too soon. So this is receiving. At number 14, we have 3 mid blockers, 2 setters, but obviously he's going for that receiving team, which is why he has Kenma here. And then SP Bokuto is the other wind spiker. Over number 15, another receiving team. Okay, so there's a bit of receiving team, just a bit lower down. This one, the set is Kageyama, however. And then you have the wind spike is mainly coming from this opposite hitter, I guess, because he has 3 receiving. Yeah, no, four receiving. Sorry, what am I talking about? 4 receiving outside of the liberal. So you have Sakusa, Daichi, Kuro, and also Hoshiumi. But this one, guys, he's still using quick attack as his form of winning because he does have SSR Hinata there with a very strong quick attack bond with Kageyama. So this is more like leaning towards a quick spike in receiving team. Then we have 16. I'm only going to go down to the top 20, okay? So 16, this is a block specialty again. You have 4 mid blockers, okay? And then you have Sugawara, obviously. Oh, is there 5 mid blockers? Oh no, sorry, 4 mid blockers, but then you have Hoshiumi with a block specialty as well. Oh, sorry, no, Sugawara is a mid block as well. Sorry, block type as well. You have 5 characters with block label, and then sorry, what am I talking? You have 4 mid blockers. However, all 6 members here have block labels. Okay, so that's what I mean. Okay, that's interesting. 17 power spiking team. SSR again here. We have 2 setters, so that's very interesting here. No, 1 mid blocker, 2 wind spike, 3 wind spiker. Okay, so no opposite hitter. Okay, what about 18? 18 is no special. Okay, this guy just hasn't updated his team. I'm pretty sure this wouldn't do well. I do feel like the JP players are a bit more casual than the Taiwan server for sure. 19, this is another receiving team. Once again, no SP Kenma though. Interesting. And then you have 2 wind spiker, 2 mid blockers, opposite hitter, setter. So this one only change kind of the. Oh no, this is the same position as well. You have 2, yeah. The 2 mid blockers are 3 away from each other. The wind spark are 3 away from each other. So this guy didn't even change the rotation. This is still the same old format. And then number 20, we have. Oh, I think this is the first time I'm seeing Asumiya. So we have a quick spiking team, but he has both of the quick spike setter here. Interesting. And then you have the other 2, which give us quick attack specialties, so Suki and also Hinata. And then you have 2 wind spiker. Okay, so this is the top 20. What are my thoughts? First of all, I think vast majority of the teams are block speciality now. I think that much is quite obvious. Before, it was very much power attack focused, and I feel like partly the reason was because the only block speciality setter was Sugawara, and he isn't quite as good as all of the other setters. So that's kind of what previously power spike was kind of the meta on both JP and also on Taiwan server, I believe. However, now you can definitely see it's almost like, I want to say like 70 or maybe 80% block speciality. So I definitely feel block speciality is a trend here. You still see a couple of people who are still playing the old standard 2 mid block, 2 wing spiker kind of formation. However, even for them, they have actually changed up the rotation. So it's not always going to be like mid blocker being like 3 position away from the other mid blocker, etc. Now you can actually change up your rotation to best suit your surfing needs or like blocking needs, etc. So I feel like that is also going to be quite important change. And then in terms of character wise, I think we have seen Hoshiyumi around a lot. Okay, so his value is definitely there, mainly because he can cover for 3 speciality. We have seen. Personally, I feel like purely because there's so many mid blockers and block specialty teams, I feel like I am seeing Suki and Kuro a lot, and also SP Hinata. Those 3 mid blockers, I do feel like are getting seen a lot. Okay, so those 3 here, and then in terms of other positions, we have seen a few teams with 2 setters. If I have to say which setter appeared the most, I feel like Kageyama UR has appeared the most. I feel like whether that's more down to bonds rather than anything else, because I have seen him being played with SP Hinata, being played alongside with SSR Hinata, also with Nishinoya, etc. So I do have a feeling he is actually being used a lot of times, even when it's not like a quick attacking team, just for those bonds. So that's also another interesting one to look out for. In terms of opposite hitter, I do feel like that is potentially the one position that have seen the demand goes down a bit. Well, having said that, I do see a few teams with like two opposite hit as well. So I'm not too sure about this, but I definitely feel like a lot of the teams they are opting to remove one of the opposite hitter in order to bring in a certain mid blocker, etc. So I do feel like the value of opposite hitter position as a whole has gone down slightly. And then I think that's kind of the main observation I'm able to see here. Let me know what you guys think of this. I do feel like it's quite interesting, but at the same time, I don't feel like it made like a massive change in the meta, other than the fact that like now it's like 70% or 80% block speciality. So maybe if you want to be anti-meta, you can go for more quick attack instead. But yeah, that's kind of the way it's looking right now. Let me know what you think of in the comment section.